Harry Potter, Hogwarts Castle and epic extensions. Extension Build 2. Bag 6. Hello and welcome to Square Ghost, and here we are with the beginning of part 84 of Hogwarts Castle and epic extension Build 2. That's the second build extension. And we're starting off here with one of these sort of flat rock cliff pieces. I don't know, some people call them cliffs, some people call them rocks. I do call them cliffs sometimes, but I think it's more like rocks. But you get your basic piece, then you put your little bricks in. You can see better here because they're hollow, and we're building in the sides there. You can see there we've got a black brick there just to hold it, and we've finished off with a 2x6 flat piece. It's just gone across there and married the top up with that, which is good. This now is going to get fitted to the set, and then we're going to start to go gently across, put some things at the back first that these fit onto, and then we'll see how it goes and I'll give you an update. So there you go, our one side is set up for all the cliffs. Now there on the book, as you can see, is the 5 cliffs that's got to go in. Yeah, there's space for 2 there, 1, 1, 1, or that's the theory. I don't think much of the build technique, and I'll explain why as I go in. Let's take a look here. This is a 2x4 black brick. It fits to the one side of this plate, and if you can look, the light grey underneath is one strut. So it's not level, it's basically. So what I'm saying is the whole brick is being held by this side, yes? And then they expect you to build on the other side of this brick where there's nothing underneath. You can actually see the gap. Now I've checked the design plans before anybody shouts at me, and it's absolutely correct in the book and in the actual PDFs. So it's not a me problem, it's just how it's been designed. But to me, whether it be a secondary thought or what, I don't know. And this is the same here. You can see the gap again there. Exactly the same look. Build up to the back. Not good enough. And yet this one is built to the plate. Nice and solid. Another thing I don't like is, as you can see with the frame, they're really touching the bricks. So when we do come to do our cliffs, I don't know what this is going to be like. I mean, am I a little bit worried? The answer is yes. What I might do is come back and see after I put these 5 cliffs in. If I don't, then you'll know there's problems, and before we start going down the other side. Anyway, you're up to date. Let's see where we go. So there is our first row of the brickwork, or the rocks, or the cliffs, whatever you want to call it. We'll call it rocks. I think that's the proper terminology. And to be honest, they slitted in to the positions okay. It was a lot more difficult trying to lock them down to the plates. And if you look, there's still minute gaps. They're there, but they're not there. And this is what it's like all the way down the set. It was that bad. It was sort of like certain ones were shaking. I think it was that one. It wouldn't. I could put as hard as I pushed it down, it still wasn't going to do the business. So I started to get a little bit frustrated, which is wrong when you're doing these kind of sets, and you know what's going to come into view rather, the Mole King hammer. And I just thought, you know what, just do it, because otherwise, you know, you it is what it is sort of thing, this set. And I was talking to my friend Brick Hobbyist again, and he was on about, you know, the actual build technique. Although it looks good with them blue blocks underneath, it's only going to be at a micromillimeter, and it's not going to sit down correctly. So, you know, you can see where I'm coming from. But anyway, it's all in and down. The frame's still floating, if you like. I'm just going to do what I said. I'm going to try and get all this all the way around. You'll hopefully come back and see when it's all on, and then I'll worry about that Technic frame after. Right, let's get on with it, Kev. And there you have it. That is the end of part 84, or bag 6 of this second extension part. This J-Star second part of the Big Mock. And I don't know really where to start. It has been hard getting the things round, putting the blocks behind to mount them is one thing. Butting them up to the plate, to the frame, is another. And it's been a complete nightmare, because you press one end, the other end pops out, and vice versa. In fact, I got quite rattled. I mean, I am going to stand up. You can see our rocks and our cliffs. They go all the way around. I will let you have a look down that side, so you can see what we've done. We've got our big frame. That's okay. It's by no means down and perfect, but it's going to be okay, I hope. Once we've got our side pieces round, then we start with our decoration, which is fine, but certain places don't fit where they're supposed to, so we just mock it and make it look okay. Now, sorry for my finger there, about the frame. It's not what I call flat. It's not to all the blue studs, the pieces, the blue, whatever you want to call them. And most of them they am, don't get me wrong, but there's some where it most definitely is not. Now that's because whether these tables are slightly bowing in the middle and giving way, I don't know. But I looked on YouTube, and I'm going to give you a gentleman's name, and if you're building this set, I advise you to watch his video. Now the person's name, the channel name to look for, is Studs McSnap. Now he builds the 3 of these, so he goes from the castle to the second piece to this one, and they're all J-Star, which is the lesser quality, if I'm honest. And when you come to see his videos, he gives you some lovely tips. It's worth watching, and he's really on about this frame. He's on about how it doesn't line up. I've had exactly the same problems, and then he says the magic words, and it really has helped me. In his build of this set up and around, including these rock pieces, he said he'd had to mock it himself. In other words, he'd had to make it up to make everything fit. Now, I totally get this. There's been pieces here. In fact, I think it's this one here, where you have to make it, you have to pull it together, and there's nothing there. And underneath, I think if I remember rightly, there's a 1x3 or a 1x4 flat, and that's where I've got pulled across there to pull the 2 pieces together. So you've got the corner piece, then you've got this rock piece here, and you need to join them together. And that's what it's like all the way down this set. The corners start to push up. This is another problem area here, where everything's coming up and falling apart, but we've pushed down and we've tried to be okay. Now we're not going to move this much, thankfully. My biggest fear is if we have to turn this round to make things up, like say this side for instance, if I can't reach, then I'm going to have to turn it around. There's no other solutions. We're going to have to take it gentle and hope. It's been a slog, enjoyable at times, frustrating at times. Try studying your plans, buy the digital plans, definitely, buy Playwell bricks. But either way, whether you look at theirs or the books, some things are left very, very much in the lap of the gods, as they say, and you end up doing what you've got to do. But I will start to sum up now and just say, as you can see, quickly repeating myself, all the sides are on. We've started with our decoration. Our first 2 trees are up and running. I was really worried about the trees, to be honest. I'd been told that they actually fall off and stuff. So far, the first 2, no problems, they've stuck on. Brilliant. Our decoration is going to be like, I'm going to end up, I think, just mocking the rock effect all the way around the set. As long as it looks okay and you can't tell any difference, really your eyes are not going to be on the rocks, are they? They're going to be on the structure that we build up the top. But you still want a sort of finished look. We don't want it looking just brown, as they say. So we'll play that as we come to town. But there you have it. Please, you know, my usual spiel now is, of course, if you've enjoyed this little video, and I hope you have, I hope I'm trying to show you the ups and the downs of this set, then please give us a thumbs up, hit that like button for me, always good for me and the channel. Don't be frightened to put some comments in the box. I don't mind you commenting about me, that's fair enough. But believe me, when you're building this set, or if you've built this set, you're going to know. If you have built it, please comment in the box and just say, did you have the same problems that I've had, or did you sail through 100% and have no problems? That's fine. If it is not, I take my hat off to you if you've done this without having any problems. But I have struggled. And if you want to follow us next time on to the next part of whatever we're doing here on Square Ghost, then all you have to do is click on that subscribe button. And finally, of course, last but not least, really, anybody who's watched this, as I say, any of my little videos, thank you very, very much for watching. And I do hope that we see you all here again next time here on Square Ghost. You know the score, you know the drill. My name's Kev, I am Square Ghost. See you all on the flip side.